So obviously my stuff is like truly hard to speak out about, and it's mainly because I don't have the same heart that other people do have. I'm gonna shut this off just because it's right in my eyes. But it's like people played about my love life, my life, my mind, not only psychologically and emotionally, but physiologically with biological warfare type agents. And I believe it's much like an MKUltra or Operation Mockingbird type of situation over my mind. It's like they poisoned me from when I was a young age, and they poisoned me with just being manipulative, and then it was just played about like it's family tradition, hugged me around the holidays and played about like they were so there for me, but they never were, hacking me around every other turn of my life so that they could play about my life in the ways that I bring up out here. They even like religiously gaslit me using Bible verses, but didn't connect those Bible verses to all the other parts that I had already connected, truthfully. And while they were doing that, they would just tear me down with these silent curses in the background of the warfare. And then at the same time, after finding out, they wanted to tell others that I'm the crazy one, pushing me around, tearing me down, not allowing me to my own mind, as it's been unwittingly being poisoned. And then the police acting like you gotta have proof when you're poisoned up since you're 2. Okay. Oh, good job doing legal matters, buddy. Real good job. It's bullshit, because I know if I was actually able to stand on any of my rights, I'd want a jury trial. And I'd want a smart jury, not a gamed up jury, you know what I mean? Chances are that if I was offered a jury trial, it would be like all the paid puppeteers and all of their friends showing up to ensure that it's just mental health. Like, dude got hit by a step-side truck, but you can see all the damages. He's all mangled to pieces, and they'll be like, oh, I don't see anything here. It's just crime, grimy ass crime over my life. It's like your whole soul and spirit and everything about you is being liquidated, poured down the drain, and you don't even know what's happening because you just lost, ghosting out on yourself, unable to reason, suffocating down to the cellular level, trying to figure out the health of the matters and what you're going to do for work, and you're pushed off into homelessness and this and that and the other. They just never wanted me around. But that's why I called it for what it is. I called it out for what it is exactly. It's cold and calculated murder. So, do we all fight with reason to not be demonic, and that way. I'd hope. Some people love the love the demonic, but as far as my soul is concerned, I didn't want to deal with all of their silent curses around every single bend in my life, claiming I'm the one that's crazy or claiming I'm paranoid, but somehow it was always them that were hacking up my accounts, hacking into my phone, even stealing my actual phone for them to be able to take over the rest of my accounts. And you'd think, like, who would allow for this to happen? Well, I guess nobody in their right mind. But that's why the poison worked really well, to stage me up for disaster. And then they'd not only hack my accounts, but they'd steal my accounts completely, making it ultra hard for me to speak out and get my information, especially now when they just hacked me completely, stealing my Facebook and maliciously taking it offline, because it's not like they just wanted to steal it and leave it online. They wanted it down. So they made sure to hack it, get into the background of my life in ways that nobody ever should have any power of suggestion there to do so, but they do, and they took it upon themselves to perform this very crime. And then they want to call me dramatic after staging real life horror in my life, in my relationships, in my work spaces, my workplaces, or anything else that I could do for work even now, like with my YouTube channel. I see them fishing. I see how they're fishing. And I see they want to take me down completely without actually having to fight me like any real men in a ring. Or fuck the ring. Regular street fight. They just don't have it in them. They're a bunch of cafe cage ass bitches. So while I was like working on my life and like trying to move my life forward in all these aspects, it's been really hard, because you'd get to a point and then all of a sudden it's like they want you to see it. They want you to see you getting poisoned, and you just don't think about it. You might want to throw it away, or like food that I took and spent good $45 on, or $50 on, or better if you consider like the other parts of the meal, not just that pot roast. But you're like you're gonna take and sprinkle some bullshit on my food that I just worked tooth and nail to get, and I've been fighting homelessness for 12 years. I'm sorry, but I wish that I would have knocked him out in that house in St. Paul Park. Fuck, I wish I would have fucking choked him off. Because you just don't get away with doing that shit to somebody. You shouldn't anyway. But that's exactly it, though. That's exactly the problem I'm having, is because the controllers that be are being protected in this country. They can just do whatever they want, whenever, wherever, however. And as soon as you freak out, that's when they're coming to get you. But you mention things that they're doing to you, it's no matter. They're not working the law. They're not being lawmen. They're being paid non-governmental organizations. That's what they're being. And they want to keep on fishing inside of my life. they'll keep secretly or they'll keep advising secretly to other men, other people in my life, how to be with me and stuff like that, or what their next moves are, and going back to their drawing board, so to speak. But all while they're even like trying to be there for me and give me advice personally, they're secretly playing in the background of my life with all of those parties to betray me, and to betray me in the worst ways. So even when I spoke about forgiveness and being meek and mild-mannered, they made sure I'd never have my own peace of mind. So they pretended they were there, concerned for my better interest, concerned for my health, and then would spread even the fake rumors about my disease, or that I'm not treating myself appropriately because I'm not going in for the diabetes factor. Well, that's not diabetes, dummy. That's called a biological warfare, and it's called arsenic creates diabetes. Look it up for yourself if you want. You'll find the same information. They were watching me rebuild my life from piece to piece, kicking, clawing, and scratching to get back into my own life, only to kick over the whole foundation once I got into this place and paid all of that money, where I would have never done if I was in my right state of mind. I would have just lived in my car and parked up at strong facilities or something. I don't know what I would have done, but I wouldn't have bought this house just to be put in here like this is my tomb. Here I am. I just paid for a big old tomb. So that's basically all it is. I haven't been able to unpack or live my life or, do anything. Me. Not even a little bit. So while they watched me rebuild my life as well, they were also coming around to poison me, steal up my NTF money and all my writing money. And that's just the kind of heart that Kenny has towards me, and anybody that's going to leave his family just in general, and all of that turmoil is just whatever, dude. Like your heart's not engrossed and encapsulated in that truly sick and sad way. You're gonna leave your own sister in the condition she's in, leave your own mother, leave your own little brother with the obvious condition you're leaving him in, but you're really gonna be able to do that? I've never had that in my heart to be able to do that. I don't know how I would have done it at 14 when I wanted to run away from home, but I really wish I had, because I wouldn't be in this predicament. So help me God, I would have made it through whatever I had to face in front of me at that age. But I think sincerely I would have been better off. And then just coming back for my mom and my sister, and hopefully having a life, a real one, not this fake whatever life this has been. So they played about being family, but then it was only in costume. Behind the mask, It's just fraudsters all around in their little handbook of life to drain me up dry completely. Let me speak just enough to hang myself with the rope that they've done tied. Basically. Like, leave you there dangling, withdrawing their so-called love. Tell you that you can trust them, but then gaslighting you into forgetting what trust ever meant. And not only that, but poisoning you to where you don't even have the recollection of your own mind to figure things out. So if that's not a crime, I don't know what you determine as a crime, but I determine these things as war crimes over my whole spirit, my whole mind, my whole soul, my whole ability in life, everything. So though I never wanted this, they sent me through hell and then asked why I was going through all of this stuff, or why I would be feeling this, that, and the other. But they knew quite well what they were doing to me, creating the chaos and then blaming me for all of the noise that I would make, not even knowing what was happening to me, acting like it's all my fault. Then they made me out to be too sensitive when I'd cry about these things, basically trying to weaponize me into more silences and dismissal. They turned my trauma into a theater, basically. Fake concerns, and there they are popping popcorn, getting ready to watch me. Yeah, that's all it ever was. They never cared about me. They only cared about what they could get from me. Falling asleep, I was thinking about how, I don't know, how an attacker could come at me next, physically, and how I would prevent it. But they're doing everything illegal all across the board right now with my life. Because you'll read and find out that it's completely illegal to leave somebody in duress in the first place, not do any kind of investigative work, and then at the same time be shutting off anything or taking anything from you because you're in a vulnerable position already, because they're taking and stealing your livelihood away from you. So if they, and they already are, but if they shut off anything more, it's legitimately war against me, because it's leaving me in not only just the last few years of crime and criminal behavior against me, but pretty much lifelong crimes against me. So I don't know. And they withdrew every ounce of effort and support that I needed, and then accused me when I was just in that emotional drought. It's like just such a messed up thing to be taxing a person with, when it's like you don't fucking love a person if you're just gonna sit there and withdraw on them when they need you the most, and at the same time that you're withdrawing on them when they need you the most, they're actually like pushing you into situations where you do need that love and support. So it's to get you reaching out, but also knowing that they aren't going to be there for you. Like, oh, missed me. Oh, missed me again. Oh, missed me again. Just not allowing you to get through. They poisoned me young, and then as I'm just starting to learn how to speak, they would just continue it as though it's like just fun and games to them, to poison me up and be all so like proud that they can walk all over you, push you around, fuck up your character when you're like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old and shit. Like, the rise that these people feel is from the devil. Anyway, I better get off. I'm gonna fall asleep. Sorry. They just gave me such a long game of betrayal, and I never wanted it. I wanted them to actually want what was best for me, as I would have wanted for them. Not strip me dry and work about these life insurance policies and then have these proxy made relationships in my life. It's so unfair, and it's bloody sick of a crime. And it is. It's much like these controllers that came around even in Mounds View with clipboards, all like, it's just wrong all the way across the board. Taking someone's love life value and just pushing them down under in the worst ways. So that's why I've been out here asking for support. I mean, my Facebook just got ripped away from me after having worked on it for so long. That's like stealing not only the money that I paid for the stuff, but all the time and energy and resource that I've used to really like figure out how I'm gonna scream out for help in this situation. It's taken away all of that time and energy and effort, even from before figuring it out. You know, just knowing that I needed some kind of line of communications to the regular public. That's another thing that it does too, is it just completely wipes you out, where like you feel like you're worthy of love and support and that kind of energy, and instead of getting it, you like they withdraw. They don't just withdraw to like leave you alone. They're withdrawing to steal everything from you and your love life. It's so demonic and twisted in its spiritual warfare type of way. And then also like the very physical with the poisons or biological, that it's so taxing that you just feel not only like very negative, low energies, but you just feel like your whole life is just stripped from you. Like every last little piece of it is just, it's not your own. Your reactions aren't your own. Your timing from being able to figure things out aren't your own. Literally everything in your life is just completely just smacked down to the ground, and then some. It's much like I'm already dead. Just like I've said innumerable times. So if you do have anything to support me, otherwise I'm going to lose everything again for the fourth time, which is what these people want. And I've lost so much along the way in the first place. Not just my time, energy, and resources of like paying phone bills and utilizing my time and having jobs that are like dismissive and still owe me like 3-4 grand, and you know, it's just impossible to fight alone. And they're making sure that I'm isolated, so you know it can look like an isolated incident and whatever happens, but it's not an isolated incident. It's an ongoing strategic warfare that's been being played about me covertly, and it's spiritual, it's emotional, psychological, physiological, it's biological warfare, and just warfare in general. And then people don't want to see that as such and it being true. Well, where do you go? Who do you turn to? Huh? Where do I have to go? What do I have to do to get the help that I need? Anyway. I just want to love so bad. That's all. I wanted to be loved. I don't want to feel so fucking just depleted. Like, lift up your hand, and if you can, and I'm holding it up, right? And then all of a sudden they let go, and it's like you don't have love and support, and they've devastated you financially, and they've devastated you every job you've ever had, every house, and da-da-da, and then you realize these things and where it's coming from finally, because it's happening covertly, and you haven't had your reasoning skills because of the poisoning, and it's literally like worse than that. It just falls through the freaking ground. It's like like when I was falling to the ground, literally it would be like my whole world would be spinning ahead of me, coming from behind me, and just like swallows you up. And it's just like there's no, I don't know, just nothing you can do unless you're gonna go like these articles do. These articles, and I know people that are like, their favorite friend is their knife, or their gun, or whatever. Their best friend is their, James Bond car full of toys, And I know that these people, they wouldn't take this. They'd be answering back. And that answering back is what these people don't want. Not only that, because, fuck, whatever, man. They're a bunch of bitches not to be able to fight me for real, but have to fight me in the ways that they did. But then is to play about my life in that fashion, as if I don't have any right to fight for justice. So anyway, I'm Cobra Murdered on YouTube. Please add me. Please sign my petition. Please look up heartwork.mystrikingly.com and click on the read more button so you can see what the actual Heartworks was all about. Because I didn't want to just help myself out of this situation. I wanted to help others, and help others achieve their dreams. And I think that I would be already doing such things in amazing ways if I was just left alone. Just left alone would have been nice enough. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'm falling asleep.